somewhere right now at this exact agonizing moment, someone is having a full oxygen-depleting, clutching their chest panic attack because they accidentally double-tapped and liked a 3-year-old Instagram post of their ex's new partner.
Oh, the horror.
Literally throwing their phone across the room. Like their thumb slipped, the little red heart appeared, and I can literally feel their visceral anxiety from here.
Right, and like, while they are actively hyperventilating into a brown paper bag, someone else is aggressively refreshing the celebrity gossip blogs every 30 seconds. Like, it is their salaried full-time job.
Yes.
Like, their thumb is cramping, their battery's at 4%, but they simply cannot stop swiping down to see if the cease and desist letter has dropped.
Absolutely. And, I mean, let us not forget the third person in this holy trinity of modern chaos. Someone is currently typing out a text that says, "I'm totally unbothered," nail polish emoji, while actively, dangerously spiraling into a completely bothered, emotional unhinged state on their living room floor.
Oh, they're shaking. They're physically shaking while typing the word unbothered.
It's the holy trinity of modern emotional distress. We see you, we honor you, and frankly, depending on the day, we probably are you. So, babes, welcome back.
Welcome back.
And babes, happy Monday, or, well, Tuesday, because honestly, that is when most of you beautiful babes are probably hearing us. We are just so thrilled to be in your ears today.
We literally just clocked out of work, grabbed our bags, sprinted through rush hour traffic like we were in an action movie, and ran straight into this studio.
Straight here.
Like, the caffeine is entirely wearing off, the sheer adrenaline of the workday is kicking in, and we desperately need to decompress.
We need it so badly. Bestie, can we please just talk about our days for a second? Because I need to get this off my chest before we even touch the reality TV mess. Let's do a quick Rose and Thorn work edition. Because dentistry, it is a psychological battlefield masquerading as healthcare.
Oh, it truly is the trenches. Please, go first. Give me your emotional roller coaster. I know you have one.
Okay, my Rose today actually almost made me cry. Not even gonna lie. There was this tiny, incredibly nervous little kid who came in for their appointment. Terrified, shaking like a leaf, white-knuckling the chair. But by the end of it, we talked them through it, and they walked out of that room smiling so big, and they were proudly holding up their new complimentary sparkly blue toothbrush in the air like it was a literal Olympic gold medal.
Oh my gosh.
I was unwell. It was the purest, most precious thing I had ever seen in my life. I felt like a hero.
Okay, that actually is incredibly adorable. Like, the psychological power of a sparkly blue toothbrush cannot be underestimated. It is a trophy of survival for a 7-year-old.
It really is.
But, you know, knowing our profession, the universe immediately punished you for experiencing a fleeting moment of joy. What was the thorn?
Honey, the universe humbled me so fast it gave me whiplash. My thorn is that I somehow, inexplicably, got a massive neon blue smear of Profi paste, which is basically aggressive, gritty toothpaste, right down the front of my perfectly clean, freshly laundered, wrinkle-free scrub top. Yes. And wait, the kicker. This was before the first patient even arrived. I was just setting up the room. I had a tragic, messy spiral before 8 in the morning.
A tragedy. You were walking around looking like a toddler who just brushed their teeth unsupervised for the entire shift.
That's sad.
I love that for you. It really sets the tone of professional authority when you look like you don't know how to operate a tube of Crest.
It was so embarrassing. I spent the whole day crossing my arms trying to hide it like I was constantly cold. Okay, your turn. Give me your Rose and Thorn.
Well, my Rovers is actually a massive victory for the working class. I somehow managed to finish all of my morning appointments early.
Wait, really?
Yes. The schedule god smiled upon me.
Yeah.
And because of this miracle of scheduling, I achieved the ultimate adult luxury. I sat down in the break room, opened my container, and ate my lunch while it was actually still hot.
Stop it right now. Hot lunch in this economy, in this profession.
Still steaming.
That is unheard of. You are living like royalty. I usually eat a lukewarm protein bar over a trash can in 3 minutes.
I literally closed my eyes and savored every single bite of that microwave pasta. It was a spiritual experience. But the thorn humbled me just as quickly as your toothpaste incident.
Oh no, what happened?
I spent 15 actual minutes, a quarter of an hour, tearing my operatory apart. Throwing things, opening drawers, getting genuinely angry, sweating through my scrubs, looking for my safety glasses.
No, don't say it. Please do not tell me the punchline is what I think it is.
Yes. They were sitting right on top of my own head the entire time.
I am screaming.
15 minutes of aggressive searching, and they were resting in my hair like a stylish 90s headband.
Why are we like this? It does not matter how organized you try to be or how perfectly you set up your trays. Dentistry will always, always humble you.
Oh,
You think you have it together, you think you are a competent medical professional, and then you are looking for glasses that are literally sitting on your skull.
it keeps the ego in check, that's for sure. It forces you to realize you are just a primate with a mirror and a probe. But, since we are already on the topic of things keeping the ego in check, we need to address the absolute delusion happening in your kitchen right now.
Oh, I was hoping we wouldn't bring this up on the public record.
Because I need the Snark Squad to weigh in on this disaster.
Fine. Let's talk about the hydration and caffeine delusion spiral that you are currently trapped in. Babes, listen to what my best friend did.
I made a financially sound, logical decision based on household economics. That is what I did.
You bought one of those giant, fridge-sized cardboard boxes of iced coffee premix, the ones with the little plastic spigot on the front that looks like boxed wine but for mornings, to quote-unquote save money. Babes, I absolutely reject this concept with every fiber of my being.
Listen to the math. Let's examine the mechanics of our daily routine. Do you know how much we spend at the drive-thru every single day?
I don't want to know.
It is astronomical. It is a car payment. I bought this giant box. It sits perfectly on the bottom shelf of the fridge. You just push the little button and boom, iced coffee on demand. It makes perfect logical sense. You bypass the line. You bypass the upcharge for oat milk. It's brilliant.
Logic has absolutely no place in the discussion of morning coffee. Why does homemade coffee somehow always taste like absolute disappointment? Explain the science of that to me, because I swear it is different.
It's just roasted beans and water, honey. It's the exact same chemical makeup. If you look at the extraction process, it's literally just coffee grounds steeped in cold water.
It is not. It is a scientifically proven phenomenon that coffee made by literally anyone else is vastly, vastly superior to coffee you make yourself.
Scientifically proven.
Yes. When I make it, it tastes like sad tap water mixed with dirt and regret. When the barista makes it, it tastes like a warm hug and the sheer will to live. I am convinced, genuinely convinced, that Starbucks adds literal magic dust to their ice machines. Or something highly addictive that they aren't disclosing to the FDA.
The secret ingredient you are looking for is called sugar, babe. It's just an ungodly amount of liquid cane sugar and heavy cream.
Don't ruin it for me.
When you make it at home, you measure the sugar because you feel guilty. When the barista makes it, they pump it in with the reckless abandon of someone who doesn't have to drink it. But looking at the flavor profile, the premix is identical if you just add the right creamer. It is an economic triumph.
You are lying to yourself. Look
Yeah.
me in the eyes right now, across these microphones, and tell me you aren't going to hit the drive-thru tomorrow morning.
I mean, if I'm running late, obviously I will 100% still hit the drive-thru tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Just for convenience. The premix is for, weekend emergencies,
Yeah.
when I can't leave the house.
Exactly. The truth comes out. The fridge box is just a monument to your false intentions. You love the drive-thru. You love the little green straw.
Fine, I concede. The box is aspirational. But the real reason we are financially hemorrhaging right now isn't the coffee. The coffee is a drop in the bucket. It's the fact that we are officially 2 weeks out from the great apartment move.
Ugh, do not even remind me. I am already spiraling just thinking about the cardboard boxes. Babes, we have to update you. We are moving.
2 weeks.
But wait, let us clarify before the rumors start. We are moving into the same building, but we were absolutely moving into different apartments. Because boundaries, personal space, and closed doors are necessary for the long-term survival of this friendship.
Exactly. I need to be able to text you, "What are you doing?" while being separated by at least 1 floor of reinforced concrete. But pray for us, because we are hoping this is the last move for a very long time. The chaos is already starting.
How does packing spontaneously spawn twice as much stuff as you thought you owned? I pulled a plastic storage bin out from under my bed yesterday, and I swear it multiplied overnight.
It really does.
I have clothes I haven't seen since 2019. I have 14 half-empty bottles of vanilla-scented lotion. Where does it come from? Does the darkness under the bed breed miscellaneous items?
It defies the laws of physics. The mass of your belongings expands to fill the volume of the boxes you purchase. It's like a retail-based law of thermodynamics. And let's talk about the deep, lingering emotional trauma of carrying those boxes up a flight of stairs.
Oh my gosh, yes. And why is it that a dresser you literally dragged across your bedroom with one hand 2 weeks ago while vacuuming suddenly weighs 1,000 actual pounds the second it needs to go out the front door?
Right.
The gravity shifts, the density changes.
Is the dread. The psychological dread adds physical weight to the furniture. Honestly, my ultimate fantasy in life isn't buying a yacht or a private jet. It is one day being wealthy enough to stand in the middle of a room, point a perfectly manicured finger, and pay a team of professional movers to do literally everything.
That is the dream.
I don't even want to pack a single sock. I want to point, vanish to a hotel, and return when the art is already hung on the walls.
That is the absolute fantasy. I am putting this on record right now. Soft girls were biologically never meant to assemble furniture.
Never.
We were not built to look at a Swedish instruction manual with no words, only confusing little cartoon men, and figure out how a droll slide works. It is toxic. It is damaging to my aura.
I have to agree with you. The moment I open a flat-pack cardboard box and see an Allen key fall out of the plastic wrap, I know that I've already lost the battle.
You just know.
My spirit breaks instantly.
Right.
That tiny L-shaped piece of metal is the enemy of my peace. I see it, and I just want to sit on the floor and give up.
Well, babe, speaking of giving up and dead weight, enough about our own personal chaos. We have actual, literal reality TV chaos to unpack, and it is piping hot. Let's get into today's gossip.
We just spent a solid 10 minutes talking about the nightmare of packing up old, heavy, useless baggage and dragging it into a new season of life. And that provides the perfect framework to discuss what the producers of Summer House are currently doing to their cast roster this week.
Oh my goodness, yes. Babes, the fall of the F-boy is upon us, and it is glorious to witness. It is a cultural reset. Let's talk about Wes Wilson.
The reports are officially in, and they are brutal for his brand. Wes Wilson has reportedly been dropped from the main cast for season 11.
Dropped, fired, let go, sent packing without a severance package.
If we look at the mechanics of how Bravo structures their filming, season 11 of Summer House literally starts filming 4th of July weekend. That is the anchor point of the entire show.
Right around the corner.
Exactly. If you do not have a contract signed by mid-June, your goose is cooked. And West was not asked back full-time. The reports say he might only make a tiny little cameo appearance, probably just showing up to a party to get a drink thrown in his face. But his days of main character energy, sitting in the primary bedroom, are entirely over. And a huge part of this fallout is coming directly from the wrath of Lindsay Hubbard.
Do not cross Lindsay Hubbard. She is a PR mastermind when she wants to be, and she completely dragged West on Threads. She literally typed the words, "West Wilson, you are trash."
She did not hold back.
She didn't subtweet him. She didn't use a cryptic quote. She tagged him and called him trash. And she called him out for actively trying to get people not to watch the show because, get this, West went on his own podcast, Show Me Something, and publicly prayed that the NBA Finals would overlap with the Summer House Aftermath bonus episode.
You really did.
He wanted his own network show to tank in the ratings so no one would watch him get exposed.
Let's break down the absolute PR disaster of West's month because it is a masterclass in fumbling the bag. The psychology here is fascinating. He genuinely thought he was the fan favorite.
He totally did.
He coasted through the entire season with this goofy, golden retriever, aw shucks energy. The audience loved him. But his 15 minutes of fame expired the exact second he manipulated Amanda Batula. He thought the audience would give him a pass because he was the new fun guy, but he vastly underestimated the loyalty the viewership has to the veteran cast members.
Exactly. I think he genuinely believed the Bravo universe revolves around the fun party boy archetype because it worked for Carl and Kyle for a decade. He didn't realize the audience has evolved, and we do not tolerate the F-boy routine anymore.
We really don't.
We see right through it. And Lindsay wasn't just mad about the ratings. She accused him of threatening her career and the show 3 separate times. She said he used her baby, little Gemma, as a literal clickbait decoy to distract the press from his mess with Amanda.
That is so low.
And she exposed that he went on a podcast right after she gave birth and told people there was no way she could return to the show. The absolute audacity and misogyny of a rookie telling a veteran new mother she can't secure her paycheck.
That is the part that crosses a major line. You do not mess with a reality star's narrative. That's standard gameplay. But you definitely do not mess with their livelihood.
No.
To go on a press tour and suggest a legacy cast member can't return because she just had a baby is wild. It shows a complete lack of understanding of how the reality TV ecosystem functions.
You do not mess with a mother's bag. I reacted to this so emotionally when I read it. Lindsay brought him onto the show. She introduced him to the group. She vouched for him. And then he repays her by trying to push her out the door the second she has a child.
It's terrible gameplay.
I am celebrating today. I am popping sparkling water in honor of Amanda being freed from this manipulation and the show being freed from Wes.
It's the ultimate reality TV justice.
Yeah.
Ecosystem regulates itself. But, while West is imploding and losing his Bravo salary, let's look at how the veteran players handle a crisis. Kyle Cook is out here fully embracing a completely different strategy. His newly single DJ era.
Oh, the DJ era.
He was spotted in New York City at an Uber event, listening to the Backstreet Boys with Andy Cohen, and explicitly holding hands with a mystery brunette.
Holding hands. In public.
Yeah.
At an event hosted by a major corporation where he knows the paparazzi and Bravo cameras are flashing.
Exactly. It's not a secret if you do it next to the executive producer of your network.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the viral photo of Kyle and Amanda laughing together as they walked out of the In the City reunion taping just a few days ago.
Everyone was freaking out about that.
Everyone panicked, thinking they were back together and the whole breakup was a stunt. But Kyle released a whole explainer on his Instagram stories. He said it was just a chaotic, action-packed reunion. They were both in the hot seat for hours, and they were basically just experiencing group therapy relief walking out of the building.
Group therapy relief. Sure, Kyle.
He claimed they were laughing at the absurdity of the idea of a photographer catching them, and then boom, the photographer caught them.
I am sorry, but I am looking at Kyle's behavior right now, and is he just holding hands with random fans and doing all this public flirting just to aggressively prove to the world that he has moved on?
Obviously.
It feels so deeply performative. It feels like he's overcompensating because he knows the audience is currently siding with Amanda.
It's the classic post-breakup overcompensation playbook. You hold hands in front of the Bravo cameras to make sure the blogs pick it up. It shifts the narrative from Kyle is heartbroken to Kyle is highly sought after.
Right.
It's PR one-on-one.
Yeah.
But the real question for the Snark Squad is this. Have you ever had a friend date the absolute worst guy in the group, and you just had to bite your tongue, sit back, and wait for him to completely self-destruct? Because that is exactly what just happened to West. Everyone saw the red flags, but Amanda had to experience them firsthand before the trash finally took itself out.
It is exhausting, but so validating when it finally happens. You just sip your tea and watch the implosion. But babes, the concept of reality TV men fumbling their relationships and attempting to manipulate the public narrative provides a seamless bridge to our next disaster, because we have to travel down to Atlanta.
We are pivoting to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and let me tell you, the divorce documents are finalized, the judge has signed the papers, and the petty levels are completely off the charts.
Drew Sidora and Ralph Pittman are officially legally fully divorced. The battle is over, the marriage is dead. But the details of this settlement are wild, and we need to unpack the actual math of it. First of all, Drew has to pay Ralph $2,218 a month in child support.
Let's examine the logistics of how family court arrived at that number, because Ralph actually won primary physical custody of the children.
Which is wild.
Right. The court noted in the documents that the kids were missing an excessive amount of school while under Drew's primary care, which is a massive blow to a mother's case in any jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Because of those absences, the judge flipped the custody arrangement. Ralph has them for the majority of the school year, and Drew gets alternating weekends. Therefore, as the primary earner who does not have primary custody, Drew pays the child support.
Okay, that part is sad for the kids because it means their daily routine is completely upended. But let's talk about the house, the marital home. Ralph gets to keep it.
He does.
But the judge ordered that he has to pay Drew $145,000 in equity. And once that check clears, she has to officially pack her bags and vacate the premises.
The mechanics of property division in a divorce are always brutal. The $145,000 represents her share of the home's appreciated value since they bought it. So the legal dust settles, the ink is drying, the checks are being written, and what does Ralph do with this somber, life-altering moment?
Don't remind me.
He immediately goes to Instagram. He posts a wildly smug photo with his lawyer, Precious Anderson, and they are holding up a massive bottle of Don Julio 1942 tequila to celebrate.
I am viscerally disgusted by this. I am throwing my hands up. Who does that? Who posts a premium tequila bottle flex to celebrate tearing a family apart in family court?
It is entirely tone deaf.
It is so incredibly tacky. You are literally celebrating the fact that your ex-wife, the mother of your children, has to move out of her home. It gives me the worst energy.
It is the absolute pinnacle of terrible optics. You won the legal battle, but you are losing the public relations war instantly.
Hmm.
But bestie, it gets so much worse. Let's look at the caption. Ralph didn't just thank his lawyer. He publicly thanked someone very specific for connecting into this lawyer. He thanked Dennis McKinley.
Portia Williams' ex, the hot dog king of Atlanta.
Yes, and what Ralph wrote is a masterclass in petty psychological warfare. He wrote, and I quote, "She did everything you said she would, just like she helped you get joint physical custody."
My jaw is on the floor. That is so shady, I need to take a lap.
It is so incredibly calculated. Let's map out the web of relationships here. Dennis McKinley is a man who literally worked on Drew's EP during season 16.
He was literally in the studio with her.
He was acting as a friend and collaborator. And Ralph is using Dennis's own highly publicized custody battle with Portia as a bragging point to rub Drew's face in the fact that he won in court. It is strategic, it is sarcastic, and it is deeply, deeply toxic. He is weaponizing her former producer against her on the main feed.
It is toxic masculinity wrapped in an Instagram caption. It makes me sick. He wants everyone to know he outsmarted her. But wait, RHOA is just a fractured mess all over right now. It's not just Drew and Ralph. We have a massive subplot that we need to discuss. Okay, Michelle.
Oh, the Club Prayer Circle. Please explain the mechanics of this incident to the people, because it sounds like a fever dream.
Okay, so K. Michelle is going through it. She was literally seen crying her eyes out in a nightclub over Shamea Morton. The scene is surreal. They're in the loud, crowded club. And apparently, Shamea's mom was holding K. Michelle's hand for over an hour in the middle of the VIP section, loudly praying for her.
In the VIP section of a club.
Yes. And why was she crying? Because Shamea straight up told K. Michelle to her face, "Nobody in Atlanta wants me to be your friend."
That is a brutally devastating thing to say to someone. It's complete social ostracization. And K. Michelle is not taking it quietly or gracefully. She is pointing fingers directly at the top of the food chain, blaming Candy Burrows for causing the divide in the group.
And K. Michelle is taking absolutely no prisoners right now. She's burning every bridge she can find. She also went completely off on radio host Angela Yee.
Oh, the Angela Yee interview.
Angela recently interviewed Drew Sidora, and K. Michelle was so mad about the narrative that was pushed in that interview that she publicly said, "F Angela Yee." She even said she could take Angela's radio job. The energy in Atlanta is just dark right now. Everyone is fighting.
It really is a fractured ecosystem. And it brings up a fascinating point for the listeners. How do we feel about exes or former friends weaponizing social media and public platforms after a breakup or a fallout? Is posting the Don Julio bottle or the aggressive interview clip ever a good look, or is it just deeply, deeply embarrassing for everyone involved? Does it ever actually make you look like the winner?
It never makes you look like the winner. It makes you look desperate. Put the phone down, go to therapy, and drink your tequila in the privacy of your own home. Babes, the drama with Ralph and Drew was handled in family court, which is messy enough with the child support and the equity. But for some of these reality stars, the drama is bleeding straight out of family court and right into criminal court.
Real-life consequences.
Things are getting incredibly dark.
We need to transition from petty Instagram shade to actual handcuffs and tracking devices. Because the legal news coming out of New Jersey and Rhode Island today is genuinely alarming. This isn't just about bad edits anymore. This is about the penal code.
Let's start with the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Melania Giudice, Teresa's 20-year-old daughter, was arrested.
This happened back on May 14th, and she was officially charged with simple assault and domestic violence.
I gasped when I read this. What is happening inside the Giudice house? Apparently, there was an explosive physical fight at the home. It got so bad and escalated so quickly that her sister actually called the cops out of sheer fear for everyone's physical safety.
Her own sister.
The police reports are saying Melania was, quote, going at multiple people.
And if we look at the timeline of this, it is fascinating for the network. Season 15 cameras missed the actual incident because production wasn't actively filming at the house that day. But you can bet the production team and the cast are buzzing about it nonstop now.
Oh, absolutely.
Teresa's close friend, Taja Abitbol, immediately ran to the press to do damage control. Taja gave this statement saying Teresa's the best mother, that she does all the pickups and drop-offs, and basically implied Melania was targeted because she's a public figure and the police overreacted.
Targeted. Wait, how can you spin that she was targeted? Her own sister called the cops on her from inside the locked house. How is that being targeted by the public or the police?
It's incredible mental gymnastics.
I am spiraling over the sheer delusion of these reality TV friends trying to spin a domestic violence arrest as a paparazzi problem. You cannot PR your way out of a 911 call made by a sibling.
It's the absolute refusal to acknowledge reality. The PR instinct is to immediately blame external forces, even when the threat is coming from inside the house. Which brings us perfectly to the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Because the delusion happening with Brian Pontarelli makes the New Jersey spin look like child's play.
Oh my gosh, Brian, Rula's husband. Babes, Brian was arrested for a domestic violence misdemeanor because he secretly, maliciously put an electronic tracking device on Rula's car.
Let's break down how this escalates to a criminal charge. He placed a literal GPS tracking device on the undercarriage of her vehicle. She found it, took the car to a mechanic to get it removed, and the mechanic told her, "You need to call the police immediately. This is stalking."
So scary.
And when the police arrested Brian, and he went to jail for this crime, let's examine his very first phone call from the precinct.
I am going to scream until my lungs give out. He did not call his wife to apologize. He did not call his lawyer to arrange bail. His mistress, Beth Walker, is the one who drove to the jail and picked him up.
If we map out Brian's behavior, it is classic textbook gaslighting. For the entire season, he has been telling Rula to her face that she's crazy, that his affair is completely in the past, and that she has absolutely nothing to worry about.
Classic gaslighting.
Meanwhile, a video surfaces of him and the mistress from summer 2025. He initially lied to Rula and the producers and said the timestamp on the video was faked. Finally, cornered with undeniable evidence, he admitted the video is real, called it the biggest mistake of his life. And yet, despite all of this, Rula dropped the tracking charges and is choosing to stay with him.
Wait, I have to challenge this. Is it just gaslighting, or is it just pure, terrifying physical control and surveillance? Because gaslighting is about making someone doubt their own sanity, which he did with the video timestamp, but physically tracking a car.
That's a good distinction.
That is about asserting ownership over someone's physical movements. That is predator behavior.
That is an excellent point. It crosses the line from psychological manipulation into coercive control, which is why the police charged it under domestic violence statutes. It's the digital equivalent of following someone down an alley.
I cannot handle the toxicity. Your mistress picks your cheating husband up from the jailhouse after he was arrested for secretly tracking your movements like you're in a spy movie and you drop the charges. Rilla, stand up. We are begging you through the microphones to stand up. Get a lawyer.
It is incredibly frustrating to watch as a viewer because you want to reach through the screen and shake them. And speaking of court cases and intense frustration, we have to touch on the America's Next Top Model lawsuit.
Oh, Tyra Banks is mad. She is furious.
Tyra Banks is officially suing Netflix for defamation over the Reality Check documentary. She claims they maliciously edited her on-camera interviews to make her look like a villain.
And Adrienne Curry, the very first winner of ANTM, jumped right into the comments section with the absolute read of the century. Adrienne reacted to the lawsuit by writing, "Karma."
She was waiting for this day.
She said, "Bitch for real, girl," and "Welcome to the party, pal."
You really have to question the legal logic of Tyra's lawsuit here. Defamation requires proving they lied about facts. Is it actually defamation? Or is Tyra just deeply upset that the reality TV editing machine, the exact same machine she built, utilized and profited heavily from for decades by editing young, vulnerable women to look crazy, was finally turned against her?
Exactly.
She knows how the sausage is made, and now she's mad she's in the grinder.
You lived by the edit, Tyra. Now you are facing the edit. It's poetic justice. You can't spend 20 years splicing together clips of girls crying over haircuts and then sue when a documentarian splices your quotes together. But bestie, let's ask the listeners the real question. If your partner secretly put a tracking device on your car and their mistress picked them up from jail, would you drop the charges and stay with them? Because I know my answer.
I think we can vehemently, aggressively agree that the answer is a resounding, echoing, non-negotiable no. Pack your bags and leave in the middle of the night.
Absolutely not. Call a cab, change your name, and move to a different state. Okay, babes, we are moving from actual, literal penal code crimes to the ultimate, most unforgivable Real Housewives crime of all time. Lying about your lifestyle to the Bravo cameras.
The delusion of square footage. It is a pandemic in the Housewives universe. People will lie about their bank accounts, their marriages, but for some reason they will always lie about the size of their house. Let's go back to Rhode Island. Rosie DeMare,
Rosie has been bragging on a show all season long that she is expanding her home to be this massive, sprawling 5,000 to 8,000 square foot mansion. She was throwing these numbers around like confetti at a parade. Oh, we're building 8,000 square feet. It's going to be huge. But the tax records just leaked.
I love when public municipal records enter the chat to destroy a reality TV narrative.
Yeah.
Let's do the literal math here, because the math is mathing, and it is severely not in Rosie's favor. The tax assessor records show that before the addition, her house was 1,068 square feet, a modest, lovely home.
Very modest.
The permits filed with the city for the new addition show a 1,900 square foot first floor and a 900 square foot second floor. That is a 2,800 square foot addition total.
Okay, so let me get my calculator. 1,068 plus 2,800.
Babes, 1,000 plus 2,800 does not equal 8,000. It doesn't even equal 5,000. It equals 3,868 square feet. Even if you count an unfinished basement, a garage, and a tool shed, you are barely hitting 4,700. It is giving absolute math delusion. Where did the other 4,000 square feet come from? Thin air.
I am dying. The tax records humbled her so fast. The city planner essentially called her a liar. But Rosie is not backing down. She is leaning full tilt into her villain era instead of apologizing. Remember when Kelsey called her a slampig, which is apparently this deeply derogatory Northeast insult?
How could we forget?
Rosie went and officially trademarked the word.
She filed the paperwork with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and she is now mass-producing and selling slampig summer hoodies, tank tops, and literal pet clothing.
Pet clothing.
The pivot to merchandising your own insult is honestly kind of brilliant from a business perspective.
Yeah.
You take the weapon used against you and monetize it, but morally. Setting up a Shopify store to sell a slur directed at yourself is a choice.
It's so chaotic. It's peak reality TV behavior. And while Rosie is selling dog shirts, Joellen Tiberi is fighting a literal war with her own mother in the Instagram comments.
Oh, this is messy.
Joellen claimed on the show that she was sent away to these strict behavioral programs as a teenager for, quote, normal teenage behaviors. She painted this picture that her mom just didn't know how to parent a normal, rebellious kid.
But Nancy, Joellen's mother, found the comments section on a Bravo fan page and clapped back hard. Nancy wasn't having her parenting slandered. She wrote that Joellen was headed down a dangerous path, hanging out with undesirable characters, and that her behavior was completely out of control.
She aired it all out.
Nancy explicitly said a medical doctor actually recommended the facility because of Joellen's dangerous actions, completely destroying Joellen's narrative of being a misunderstood teen.
It is so incredibly messy when the parents figure out how to use Instagram. Keep the family trauma off the public timeline, Nancy. But speaking of faking a narrative for the timeline, we have to talk about Beverly Hills. Dorrit Kemsley just announced with great fanfare that her new memoir, Unburdened, is officially a New York Times bestseller.
She posted this long, deeply emotional caption about how grateful she is, how she poured her soul into the pages, and how the fans made her dreams come true. But the Bravo fans are entirely too smart for this. The fans zoomed in on the actual published bestseller list on the Times website.
And what did they find? Tell them what they found.
They found a tiny, highly significant little dagger symbol right next to her book's title on the list.
The sword! The dagger of deceit! I am screaming about the dagger.
Let's explain the mechanics of how the publishing industry works for those who don't know this secret. The New York Times compiles their list based on sales reported from independent bookstores and major retailers. But when a PR firm or a reality star wants to guarantee a spot on the list, they engage in bulk purchasing.
Buying your own books.
Exactly. That means someone, usually the author, their publisher, or an affiliated corporate company, quietly buys thousands of copies of the book themselves through specific channels just to artificially inflate the sales numbers. The Times algorithm catches these massive corporate orders, and they place that dagger or sword icon next to the name to essentially warn the public, hey, this is on the list, but the sales were suspiciously bought in bulk, not by individual readers.
We see you, Dorrit. We know what the sword means. You cannot hide the bulk buy dagger from the Bravo historians. You bought a warehouse full of your own memoirs to pretend you're a literary genius. And meanwhile, Dor is doing press interviews saying she is very hopeful she can reconcile with Kyle Richards next season.
Which is a fascinating PR strategy because Dort literally just liked an Instagram post from a fan page calling Kyle a massive hypocrite over her secret relationship with Morgan Wade.
Oh, the digital footprint.
You cannot publicly like posts trashing your former best friend's integrity, and then go on a podcast and say you're hopeful for reconciliation. The math is, once again, not mathing. The digital footprint contradicts the verbal statement.
Dort wants that paycheck, honey. She needs to stay relevant so she can pay off the credit card bill for all those books she bought. But you know who else wants a specific paycheck? Garcelle Beauvais. Garcelle flat out stated that she has one major non-negotiable condition to return to RHOBH. She said Lisa Vanderpump has to come back with her.
If we evaluate the power dynamics of that cast, Garcelle and LVP returning as an alliance would completely dominate the dynamic of that show. It would instantly shift the entire power structure away from Kyle Richards, who's been producing the show from the inside for years. It's a brilliant chess move by Garcelle.
I live for Garcelle demanding LVP's return. Bring back the crown. Bring back the swans. And finally, in the Housewives universe, we have to talk about the man who runs it all. Andy Cohen was doing a local news interview in his hometown of St. Louis, and he explicitly stated, point blank, that he will never greenlight a Real Housewives of St. Louis.
He said it's a hard no. The reasoning he gave gives us an important look at how he views the reality TV machine. He said he doesn't want his parents, his sister, and everyone he grew up with coming to him complaining about their edits or constantly asking to be cast.
I mean, I get it. I wouldn't want my high school enemies on Bravo. Imagine your old chemistry teacher throwing a wine glass at a reunion.
It's an important look at Andy's boundaries. He absolutely loves the mess. He profits immensely off the chaos, but he strictly keeps it out of his own backyard. He knows how damaging the machine is. He has enough noise managing the women in Orange County in New York. He doesn't need his mom's book club getting into a screaming match over a rumor.
So true. He knows the toxicity better than anyone. Babes, I have to ask you, have you ever caught someone in a blatant, verifiable lie like Rosie's Taps Record square footage or Dorrit's fake book sales algorithm, and instead of apologizing and backing down, they just completely doubled down and bought more hoodies?
People will defend their lies to the absolute grays rather than face the humiliation of admitting fault. It's the human condition, amplified by the pressure cooker of reality TV cameras.
Okay, let's bring it home and end today's gossip session with the absolute ultimate spectrum of reality TV romance. We are talking beautiful, tear-jerking weddings, absolute toxic garbage nightmares, and unfortunately, a moment of real-life, somber perspective.
Let's start with the joy, because we need a palate cleanser. Jasmine Goode from The Valley and The Bachelor just married her partner, Melissa Marie.
Oh, my heart. I was swooning over the photos. I was zooming in on the dresses. They got married at the Crossed Keys Estate in New Jersey. It was this beautiful, candlelight, timeless outdoor ceremony. It looked like a movie. And the guest list was the ultimate Bravo and Bachelor crossover event.
A huge guest list.
Kristen Dout, Tom Schwartz, Sheena Shea, Brittany Cartwright, everyone was there. It was just a rare, genuine moment of actual happiness and love on a network that usually thrives on divorce.
It was a beautiful contrast to the absolute nightmare unfolding on 90 Day Fiancé, because Mito Fade and Debbie Rolando are delivering pure, unfiltered, highly concentrated toxicity.
I am filled with absolute rage just thinking about Mito. Okay, so let's set the scene. They moved from Egypt to New Orleans. Debbie throws this huge Halloween party so Mito can finally meet her friends and integrate into her life. And Mito acts like a complete terror.
So embarrassing for her.
He's incredibly rude to her friends, pouting in the corner. But the part that made me spiral into a rage, before the party, he tells Debbie he refuses to do any chores around the house because his, quote, hands hurt when he takes out the trash or washes the dishes.
The audacity is breathtaking. The mechanics of his excuse are baffling. Your hands hurt from holding a damp sponge.
Sir, you are a grown man. Put on some rubber gloves and wash a plate. You moved across the world, you can take out a trash bag. And it got so bad on the car ride home from the party. He's yelling profanities at her in the passenger seat, calling her a bitch, screaming "phew" at the top of his lungs.
Unhinged behavior.
It escalated to the point where the producers literally had to physically step in, stop the car, and separate them on the side of the road to ensure her safety. Debbie finally just got back in the car, locked the doors, and drove away, leaving him standing there in the dark.
And honestly, good for her.
Yeah.
Leaves him on the curb with his delicate hands.
Huh.
But let's look at a completely different flavor of messy relationship dynamics over on Below Deck Down Under. We got a massive update on the love triangle between Eddie Hounsel, Jenna Woodberg, and Chef Ben.
Oh, this was so incredibly messy to watch unfold. So Eddie and Jenna actually kissed after the show wrapped, and they went out and got beers together back on land. They were pursuing something.
Right, they established a connection off camera. But then Jenna turned around and hooked up with Chef Ben. And poor Eddie had to sit on his couch months later and watch Jenna and Ben cuddling and kissing in bed on national television. Eddie did an interview recently and said watching it back made him feel completely yuck.
I would feel yuck too. I would feel betrayed. But Jenna did an interview as well, and she was shockingly honest about her chaotic behavior.
She really was. Jenna straight up admitted, quote, "I seek validation from men way too much," and she openly acknowledged that playing with people's emotions for her own advantage isn't right.
That's pretty raw.
If we examine this behavior, it is incredibly rare for a reality star to just bypass the PR excuses and admit fault. Usually they blame the editing or they say things were taken out of context. For Jenna to say, "Yeah, I was playing people, I have deep insecurities and I was using men for validation," is a level of self-awareness we almost never see.
It's true. I have to respect the self-awareness, even if the behavior itself is incredibly messy and hurtful to Eddie. At least she owns it. But Biggs, we do need to pause for a second. We have to drop the snark to talk about something incredibly sad that happened in the reality TV community today.
Yes. James Barker, an executive producer for Love Island USA, passed away suddenly at the age of 40 from a medical emergency while they were actively filming the new season on location in Fiji.
It is just so heartbreaking. He had been with the show since 2020. 40 years old is entirely too young. We just want to send all of our genuine love and deepest condolences to his partner, his family, and the entire hardworking Love Island crew. It is such a jarring reminder that behind all the messy reality TV we sit here and consume and judge and laugh about, there are real hardworking people making it happen away from their own families.
Absolutely. Life is fragile, and the reality TV production world is a very tight-knit family. Our thoughts are very much with his loved ones during this unimaginable time.
Yes, sending so much love to them. And Snark Squad, that brings us to the end of today's gossip session. But we are not letting you go without giving us your opinions. We need you in the comments right now.
We need answers to the following 3 questions.
Mhm.
Number 1, does homemade coffee ever actually beat a coffee shop? Or am I right about the long-term economic benefits of the fridge box?
You are wrong. You are delusional about the box, but let them answer. Number 2, what is the absolute weirdest, most unhinged thing you have ever found while packing for a move? Because my apartment is producing terrifying artifacts from 2018. And number 3, what story today had you aggressively refreshing the blogs all afternoon? Was it West's downfall, the Rhode Island tracking device, or Dorrit's fake bestseller sword?
Let us know your thoughts. And as always, thank you all so much for listening. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this conversation with another snarker in your life.
But before we go, we want to leave you with one final provocative thought to marinate on. We just spent an hour talking about tax records, exposing house sizes, court documents revealing child support and tracking devices, and publishing algorithms exposing fake book sales. Everything is public. Every single receipt is online.
So if reality stars know that every single detail of their lives can be instantly verified by a fan with a Wi-Fi connection and a basic understanding of Google, why do they keep lying to us so blatantly? Do they genuinely think we aren't going to check the public receipts? Or have they just reached a level of fame where they actually believe their own delusions?
Are they lying to us, or are they genuinely lying to themselves? Think about it. Stay caffeinated. Stay nosy.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the snark side.